Hi guys, I'm Kyungmi Kim at Korea Institute of Psychoeducation. Nowadays, oral sexual information is skewed toward sexual pleasure, so much so that both men and women have the misconception that a man's sexual instinct is all about seeking sexual pleasure. However, a man's true sexual instinct is about protection of women. It is the essence of a man's sexual instinct to protect and accommodate his woman so that she can safely and freely engage in sexual actions using him as a vehicle. That is why a man does not attach meaning and emotion to sex. If a man attaches his own ideas or specific meanings and emotions to sex, he will not be able to accommodate a woman's sexual actions freely because he will apply his own standards to her sexual actions. Without knowing this principle and essence, most men think that it is a man's sexual instinct to pursue sexual pleasure, especially if he does not attach any meaning, emotion, or thought to having sex. Pleasure is a natural need in human life, but its basic nature is for me. Pleasure is a maximization of the positive sensations felt by my sensory organs, and the pursuit of pleasure is basically for myself, not for the other person. The essence of a woman's sexuality is the generation and radiation of zest energy, which means that a woman generates and radiates zest energy and transmits it to a man when the man protects and attunes to her. Therefore, from the woman's point of view, the partner himself is actually much more important than sexual actions or sexual pleasure to be able to keep herself safe. This is because the woman can basically generate as much zest energy as she wants on her own, so sexual actions or sexual pleasure isn't as important as the partner with whom she can share her sexuality and reinforce her zest energy. The partner must be able to protect her, and he must be valuable enough to share her sexuality with. Therefore, it is a basic value for a woman to attach meaning, feelings, and thoughts to having sex, because if she engages in sexual actions without these elements, she cannot be guaranteed for her safety. However, today, women's sexual instincts also have been understood in distorted ways, and women are preoccupied with these meanings, feelings, and thoughts, putting aside the generation and radiation of zest energy. When a man says he wants to protect a woman, he is actually saying, I don't want to use you for my own sexual pleasure, which means he wants to make sure she doesn't become a vehicle for his own self-pleasure. This is how a man's sexual instincts work. So even if he doesn't know how it works, when he finds a woman he truly loves, he will want to protect her by restraining himself. Also, the same sexual action has completely different outcomes when the woman is the main agent and the man complies with the woman, and when the man is the main agent and uses the woman as a means to his own sexual pleasure. Since a man can generate zest energy only at a negligible level, sexual actions that are dominated by a man end up achieving only the temporary pleasure in the sensory organs. And since this is such a short hedonic response, a relationship that is dominated by this aspect quickly becomes boring, and the woman actually creates a lot of wounds in the process. On the other hand, in a relationship where the man is attuned to the woman's happiness, not his own sexual pleasure, and where the woman is in control, passion and love, are strongly activated and long-lasting beyond the pleasure of the sensory organs. This is because this energy that a woman generates and radiates through sexual activity strengthens passionate love for both herself and her partner. In order for the relationship to be virtuous in nature, it is essential for a woman to stop being sexually dependent on a man and become the master of her sexuality. But no matter how much a woman becomes the master of her sexuality, she will be useless to a man who values sexual pleasure and is unable to adapt himself to her. Therefore, a man must also become the master of his sexuality, knowing that his sexuality is protective and supportive, and that he can use his sexuality to protect and comply with his woman, not for his own sexual pleasure. Please remember that sexual pleasure, no matter how ecstatic, is fleeting while passion and love are lasting and fulfilling.